You're listening to today's inspirational message on the Proverbs with Kurt Bjorklund.
This week we turn to Proverbs 26, and as I've tried to find a unifying theme for these Proverbs, which is challenging because a lot of times it feels like they're just a random collection of statements. When I come to Proverbs 26, I think in many ways it's about people to avoid. But before we do that, which we'll do starting tomorrow, I want to address verse 2, and this will be a freestanding thought from the rest of the week. It says this: like a sparrow in its flitting, like a swallow in its flying, a curse that is causeless does not alight. That's the ESV version. The NIV says, like a fluttering sparrow or a darting swallow, an undeserved curse does not come to rest. The Living Bible says an undeserved curse has no effect. Its intended victim will be no more marred by it than by a sparrow or swallow slitting through the sky. In many ways, being a pastor is really one of the best jobs I can imagine. I get to spend my working days investing in people, pointing them to Jesus, studying and teaching the scriptures, and walking with people through some of life's hardest and most defining moments. But there is a dark side to being a pastor, and it's criticism. As a pastor, especially in a larger church where I don't know everyone personally, there are no shortage of opinions about what I do, how I dress, what I say, what I don't say, the car I drive, the way my wife dresses, the car she drives, and anything else that we do. And these are just the mundane and simple opinions. There are many opinions that cut much deeper than those. And my life in many ways has been lived in what some would call a fishbowl of ministry. And we've been fortunate. The churches that we've served have been overwhelmingly positive, and people have expressed support and constructive criticisms. But there have been a few times when a curse has been delivered, and usually it comes second or third hand. As a flitting sparrow and a flying swallow do not land, this proverb teaches that neither will a baseless curse. And a curse here is basically the idea of a word used as a denouncement by God. So here it means to denounce or pass judgment. It's the Hebrew word galaha. A curse is really just a form of condemnation. So this may refer to a curse as conjuring up powers from the spiritual world, but it more likely is referring to somebody passing on judgment. And given the proximity to Proverbs 26, verse 4 and 5, it's clear that there are some instances where challenging a foolish person is prudent. But the default perspective offered here is that wisdom knows that things said about you that are untrue will not have an impact, and that it's foolish to try to chase them down and try to stop them. The imagery of the sparrow and the swallow show the folly of also trying to chase down the curse. It's nearly impossible to catch a bird in flight. In chasing a curse, one will exhaust himself or herself and will find that the source and the extent of the curse, and will usually have a hard time finding the source and the extent of the curse. No matter what you do vocationally, you will have things said about you and to you that are unfair and untrue. Letting a curse go is a learned reaction to criticism because our natural impulse is always to defend ourselves. Again, there are times to defend ourselves in Proverbs even, but this proverb says when it's baseless, understand that you just create more damage when you try to chase it down. If the things that are said about you are without merit, simply move on. Know that any time you spend trying to squelch the innuendos, the misinformation will be frustrating, and know even more importantly that what is being said will not have any long-lasting impact. So fill your heart on the things said about you by God Himself, that you are a loved child of God if you've come to faith in Jesus Christ, and let go of the things that others are saying about you. So today, just simply resolve to not be disturbed by a baseless accusation and base your identity on what God says about you rather than what others say.
Thanks for joining us here today. There's a lot of great content to explore on Orchard Hill Plus and on the Orchard Hill main feed from the weekend. Have a great day.